Hey everyone, Lauren from A Girl and Her Wool here. Today I am wrapping up the end of the March into Spring boxes. It's March 21st and they are all done. I just have most of them packaged up. I have one last here that I wanted to show you guys. I'll get that packaged up and get them off and out and shipped to you. So I'm really excited. I love how this came out. When I was packaging it up, I was like, I feel like I am delivering what I promised. Like, it's all fun spring yarn, totally inspired by the mood board, and overall just really fun skeins for us to all work with. So if you're participating in the make along, I hope you are enjoying it. And if you don't know what we're doing with the make along, just remember you don't even need to use A Girl and Her Wool yarn. You don't need to use the March into Spring box yarn. But I'll leave a link to the vlog where I talk about it down below, as well as the blog post. So go check it out and join in. It's not too late to knit up some socks this spring. Alright, so again, I mostly packaged everything up, but I just have one of each skein left, so it doesn't kind of give, you know, I like holding up multiple skeins so you can kind of see how they knit up differently, but I wanted to show you guys the finished yarn and talk about my whole dyeing process throughout it. So first is the variegated yarn, which I've named Tulip. So this one was primarily inspired by the tulips on the mood board. That was a lot of like creamy orange and some like blush kind of colors, just like really warm but light springy tones, and I love that. And I wanted to just kind of bring in some of the colors from the rest of the board, and that is how we came up with Tulip. So you can see it here. It's a really light springy variegated yarn. I didn't want to make this like something that would overly pool or be overly contrasting. I really like the idea of just keeping it light. I combined a lot of those colors that I just mentioned into kind of the base of the yarn, and then just added in little bits of some of the brighter pink and some blue, and absolutely love how this color turned out. It is very springy and just overall colorful, but I think when we talk about knitting this one up, there will be a lot of choices for how it will look vanilla, but then also if you wanted to do you know, a pattern, I think it's still very possible with this variegated yarn. So this was the variegated skein. Again, I just loved the colors in that tulip picture, but then just wanted to bring in bits of some other colors, but didn't want to make it too like blocky with the different colors. I really wanted something that overall had one feel to it, but just still had kind of some extras in it as well. I'm going to show the contrast color next, just so we can hold it up next to this one. So the contrast color is called Azalea, and again, this is meant to contrast against all of the colors, not just this one. And it's a tonal color with just different shades of pink. You get some light, some dark, some kind of more like soft light pink, some more magenta pink. And I thought that one, there were some flowers in the mood board that had this pink, but again, it just really brings out some of those pinks in here. It's very similar, but it wouldn't blend in too much with this one, and kind of similarly with the other colors. I wanted the contrast color to kind of stick out again. So if you have the 3 pairs of socks in your sock drawer or wherever, you know that these are 3 go together. Like, so I didn't want to do something neutral that it wouldn't stand out, but still wanted it to go really well with it. So again, just super springy. Okay, so next is the speckled yarn, which I'm calling Snapdragon. And this is a really pretty, this is a really pretty tonal turquoise aqua color that has speckles of a lot. So there's blue, there's like gold, there's pinks, there's just everything kind of all speckled on there. And so just throughout the skein, you just get a lot of the speckling, which will be really fun. So this one was really inspired by the cupcakes and how it had the sprinkles on it. So when I found that photo, I was like, that's perfect for the speckled skein. But the sprinkles on those cupcakes were very rainbow primary colors, red, yellow, bright blue. So I didn't want to use that. I wanted to use other colors from the mood board as the speckles, but that's kind of where that inspiration came out. I knew I wanted the base to be one tone, but I didn't want this to come across like a tonal yarn. So you definitely have various shades of it across. So I think even as it knits up, you'll kind of get that variegation too, which is nice. And yeah, just a lot of those speckles. So it'll be fun to see how we knit this up, how all those speckles come out. Will we get kind of bare spots and then a lot of the speckling, or you know, how will it go out, knit up? So excited for this one. And then putting it with the tonal, with the contrast azalea. Again, it just kind of, it matches well with it. It's definitely that spring flower feel, but they don't blend in together too much, which is perfect because it will again stand out. And then lastly, we have the self-striping yarn. And if you are new around here, self-striping yarn is completely new. This is the first batch that I dyed up to sell. So I did some samples for myself, but this was the first batch that I dyed up. It was a really fun learning experience to kind of, you know, I had practiced and make sure that I would like be able to do it. But you know, it was taking that into a batch that was pretty interesting. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So originally I had the self-striping yarn, and I'll put up a picture here of what my sample was, because I dyed up mini samples for all of these colors before I knit them up, and the self-striping was much brighter and it kind of brought in elements from all of the other colorways. So it had kind of that aqua color in it. It had like the orange and the gold in it from here, and then it had kind of that pink from here. And I just felt like it was a lot of disjointed colors and very bright and not springy enough. So I ended up changing how I did it, and I'm really happy and pleased with the self-striping result. It is very springy. This one is called Pansies, and it's just kind of that kind of like flower, you know, a group of flowers in a garden kind of feel. And I'm really excited for us all to work on this. So this is the color. And you can see that it's very soft, very light and springy. So you get a sage, one stripe will be like a darker, almost periwinkle blue. One stripe will be a sage green, and then there's a sky blue, and then there's a light purple. And so, yeah, so 4 stripes of those all colors. I wanted to bring some more blue into this kit because there were some blues in the mood board, and then also there was like the green leaves in the flowers, and so I wanted to bring that out. And then I also just wanted to bring in some purples that were kind of blended in with the paint on the top left. And then I also wanted to bring in some purples that were blended in with the paint on the top left, and it just kind of came together really perfectly into a perfect springy colorway. And again, pairing it with the contrast. So this is definitely like a huge contrast to it. There's no pink, kind of different from the others. There's really no pink in this one. But again, I think it's going to, where you have a lot of these lighter pink sections, it's gonna go really well and be kind of that 5th color to it. And again, just stand out so perfectly. So when you're looking at that box, you can see those are my March into Spring boxes, which was exactly what I wanted to do. So again, and I talked about this when I talked about it, when I announced the box, is that these are definitely not meant to go into a project together, just because of all the different styles of yarn. But you kind of see them there. It's definitely a batch of spring yarn, lots of different colors. It was really fun to like explore all the different spring tones and spring feels, where you have them across the different styles of dyeing with the speckling, the variegation, and the tonal and the self-striping. So I hope you guys all love the box as much as I do. It was really fun to put together. I'm excited to do, you know, future iterations of this and kind of, you know, keep some things the same and make parts of it better. And yeah, I can't wait to see what we're all gonna do. So again, if you haven't already checked out the make along, you can do so by watching the video. You can also follow me on Instagram at agirlandherwool. And yeah, let me know what you think, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.